Hi everyone, my name is Terry. In this video, I'm going to go through Additional Mathematics Form 4 textbook question for Chapter 4 Indices, Surds and Logarithm Mastery Practice. If you learned a lot from this video, kindly like and click subscribe if you want to receive notification on our upcoming video. Also, if you have any question, you can give us comment and also tell us how we can improve our video presentation. So let's go straight to this. The first question is about solving initial equation, and in my previous video I've already explained that when you have three terms separated by the plus or minus sign, so we have one term, two terms and three terms, the easier way for most students to solve it is by using substitution. So we always let the one with the power x becomes, let's say, u, an unknown u, and we can bring this up to 4 power 2x. When you minus, we break up, becomes divide 4, and this will be 4 power 2x equals to 4. By replacing 4 power 2x with u, I have u over 4 plus u equals to 4. If you don't like fraction, you can just multiply everybody by 4. So u plus 4u is now 16. So 5u is now 16, and u is 16 over 5. Now, remember, we are solving for x, we're not solving for u. So we have to replace u with 4 power 2x. Yeah, and 16 over 5, if you want, you can change the decimal, it's going to be 3.2. Now, it's not like we can change everything to the same base. If, for example, 4 power x, if this value is 8, then we can change everything to base 2, like 8 we can write as 2 power 3, then we can actually solve for x, right? If you can't change the same base, then we have to use logarithm, right? What we do is we introduce log, log base 10 on both sides of the equation, bring the power down, and you divide everything. Log 3.2, you divide by 2 lg4. Now, use your calculator, you will get 0.4195. Okay? So I think question 1 is not difficult, right? Okay, moving on to question number 2, and you can see the similarity between question 1 and 2. And here, instead of having 3 terms, we have 4 terms. Alright, so we can still use substitution to solve. So first thing is, we know that we're going to let 5 power n becomes u, but we have to break this up. This will be 5 power n times 5 power 1 minus 5 power n plus 5 power n divide 5 power 1. The result is 105. So if 5 power n is u, you will get 5u here. This will be just u. This is u over 5. The result is 105. So as we subtract, you can actually subtract, or you can just multiply by 5. I think we can just minus that. So 5 minus 1 is 4. 1 over 5u equals 105. So this is actually 21 over 5u equals 105. Now 105 you can times with 5 divided by 21, you should get 25. But remember, you're not finding for u, you're finding for n. So 5 power n is now 25. 25 is 5 power 2. By comparison, n is just 2. Yeah. So this is easier compared to the earlier one, as in you don't have to introduce log, because we can express everything to the same base, which is base 5. Alright, moving on to question number 3. Now question number 3 is solving linear equation involving surd. So here we have to solve for x. So I have to bring this x over to the left hand side. So surd 5x minus surd 3x is now surd 7. These two we can factorize them by taking out x. Maybe I write this as surd 5 minus surd 3 bracket x. The result is surd 7. So when you divide this, surd 7 divide surd 5 minus surd 3. Yeah, we should simplify this by rationalizing the denominator. So here we multiply top and bottom with its conjugate. Yeah? If you have surd 5 minus surd 3, the conjugate will be surd 5 plus surd 3. So surd 7, you can multiply with surd 5, you get surd 35. And surd 7, you multiply surd 3, you get surd 21. Whereas the denominator, you have surd 5, if I square it, you get 5. Surd 3 square, you get 3. Put it together, you get Surd 5 plus Surd 21 over 2. Surd 35 plus Surd 21 over 2. Alright, still manageable. Yeah, not difficult, I would say. Okay, moving on to question number 4. So to find the possible value of t, notice that these two logarithms, they have the same base, which is base x. So you don't have to change the base or anything like that. What we have to do is perhaps we can write this as a power negative 1, right? Now the next step, I'm going to write t on the left, copy log base xa first, bring the power negative 1 down, so it's negative log base xa, and as we can subtract them, you get t, and t is just 0. Yeah, fairly straightforward. Alright, now probably the most difficult question I would say in this mastery practice will be question number 5 here. So we are given 3 circles that touches each other here, and you're supposed to find the radius of the smaller circle, given that PQ is a common tangent. So number 1, you learn this from in your form 3 that when this line is a tangent, it must be perpendicular to the center of the circle, right? So in fact, it's perpendicular to all 3 center of the circle. So now first thing I'll do is I'll connect AB together. I'm given radius of AB is 2, radius of circle with A, center A is 2, radius of circle with center B is 1, and now I'm supposed to find the radius of third circle. Now I know this is a bit small, so I'm going to put a R here. Perhaps I will just magnify this, draw a slightly bigger version so you can see it, right? So now the first thing is, if you connect or draw this arc here, you can see that this third circle should be over here. Oops, right? Now the circle has radius of 2. I can just draw a line. Okay, maybe I draw with a blue line here that cut across. Now my measurement may not be super accurate, but doesn't matter. We know this is 1 unit. This has to be 1 unit. This should be 1 unit or 1 cm. Now at the same time, I'm going to label this as A, center B. Let's say the third center is C here. Okay. Now also I will find out, maybe write this on as 2. This is 1. I will form this triangle first, and I better measure, label them. This is ABC. Maybe I call this D. Well, we extend one more line here. I'll use the blue line here. Okay, this will be D. Okay, and I think we can join. I'm going to join this with a different color. So let me use green. 1 and 2. Okay, so now we can label this as E. Let's say this will be F. Let's call this G. Okay, so let's start by finding the length of GB. Okay, now based on the triangle GB, right, you can see that this is A, B, G. This length is 3. This is 1. GB will be 3 square minus 1 square root, which is root 8. Now we know root 8 is 4 by 2 or 2 root 2. Okay, so 2. Now the next thing is, I know GB, and GB is actually the same as your FD. Now the next thing is, you need to focus on the green triangle here. Let me join this together. Can you see? And I can call another one here. Okay, and maybe we call this as H. Let me use a red pen. This is H, and this is I. Okay, now let's focus on the first triangle. This triangle ACH. Now if you look at this CE, we know CE is RCM, right? I do not know the radius of circle with center C. I'm going to call it R, and you notice that if this is R, this is also R, right? So if you look at the triangle here, this triangle A, let's look at AF. AF is 2. If you want to find AH, AH will be 2 minus r. I say this again. This whole thing is 2. This is just r. So AH, which measure from here to here, is just 2 minus r. Okay? At the same time, if you have a point here, you know that A to C, this is r, sorry, this is 2, this is r, A to C will be 2 plus r. So let's find HC. So I'm going to write HC square. It will be 2 plus r square minus 2 minus r square. So we just expand 4 plus 4r plus r square minus 4 minus 4r plus r square. Now I'm going to cut short my working because I can see that 4 minus 4 cancel out. R square minus r square cancel out. So 4 minus minus 4 is going to give us 8r. Now your HC is actually the same as FE. Can you see? HE is from here to here. It's the same. HC is the same as FE. So my FE is therefore the square root of 8r, which is 2 root 2r. Okay? Now, then we're going to focus on the third triangle. I'm going to draw it here. Right? This triangle is B. Okay. I'm afraid that we may not have enough space, so I'm going to write or draw over here. So this is BIC. Now again, if this is R, this is IR, ID is also R, BI will be 1 minus R. So I'm going to write 1 minus R here. Now as for BC, if this radius is R, this is 1, BC will be 1 plus R. So to find CI, we can square it. We write 1 plus R square minus 1 minus R square. So when you expand, you get 1 plus 2R plus R square minus 1 minus 2R plus R square. Cancel 1 and 1 from here. When you expand, 1 minus 1, R square minus R square. And 2 minus minus 2 is going to be 2 plus 2, which is 4R. Now remember, CI is actually the same length as your ED. So your ED is the square root of 4R, which is 2 root R. Now, why do I find FE and ED? Because FE is 2 root 2R, ED is just 2 root R, and FE plus ED is going to give us FD. So we can say 2 Surd 2R plus 2 root R. I can just remove this bracket, yeah, which is FE plus ED, is going to give us 2 root 2. I say this again. This is FE, this is ED. You add up, you get FD. So we can factorize 2 root 2 plus 2 bracket R root R equals to 2 root 2. Now before you rationalize the denominator, we can just divide by 2. So when I divide both sides by 2, okay, so I will get root 2 plus 1, and this is root R, this is just root 2. Now to find R, perhaps we square both sides first. It will be easier. If I square the left, I will get, let me write 2 plus root 2 plus 1 square. Root R, if I square it, I just get R. 2, if you square it, you get root 2 squared, it's just 2. Let us expand this bracket. 2 plus 2 root 2 plus 1. This is R. The result is 2. R is just 2. As I bring it down, this is 3 plus 2 root 2. Oh, this is a very long question. And we have to rationalize the denominator by multiplying top and bottom with 3 minus 2 root 2. So you should get 6 minus 4 root 2, and 3 square is 9, 2 root 2 square is 8. Your answer, the radius, is 6 minus 4 root 2. Now take note that the answer given in the textbook, they didn't simplify further. They actually stopped at R equals to 8 over 12 plus 8 root 2. It's actually the same thing. Yeah, this result is the same. I actually went on and simplified further. Yeah, so if you don't simplify it as in like the textbook, what they did was they just square from here, right? When you square this will be 8 plus 4 root, okay, this will be, sorry, not 4. If you square it, okay, it's 8 root 2, and then they plus with 4, and then there is a r here. This is 2 root 2 squared is 8. Then they simplify this, 12 plus 8 root 2 r equals to 8, and then they divide it to get this answer. But we know that if this is not a good answer, because number 1 you can still divide by 2, number 2 you can still rationalize the denominator, so I think we should go on and solve it and simplify it to get this answer. Okay, right? I would say this question is quite tough for Form 5 SPM level, right? Okay, so let's move on. Next one. This one is easier. The temperature of a type of metal decreases from 100 degrees Celsius to T degrees Celsius according to this formula. So find the temperature of the metal after 5 seconds. So very simple. We just substitute T with 5. So type in your calculator, you get 59.05 degrees Celsius. This is in degrees Celsius. Right. Okay, B. Find the time taken for the temperature to decrease from 100 to 80. So that means your final temperature is 80, your initial temperature is 100. So you are going to divide by 100. 80 divided by 100 is 0.8. Let us introduce log on both sides of the equation. Bring the power down, and when you divide this, log 0.8 divided by log 0.9, you get 2.12. Okay. All right, moving on. Next question. Number 7. After n years, the price of a car that was bought by Raju is 60,000 with bracket 7/8 power n. So determine the number of years for the price of the car to be below 20,000 for the first time. So let's take 60,000, 7/8 power n. Let it be below 20,000. So 60,000 divided by 20,000 is going 20,000 divided by 6,000, sorry, is going to give us 1/3. Now here we have to introduce logarithm. Bring the power down. Lg 7/8. This is Lg 1/3. Now remember, when you have logarithm of a number, let's say your number y is between 0 to 1. When you take the logarithm of this number, it's certainly going to be negative. Now, because this is negative, it would affect your inequality when you times and divide with negative number. Always remember, when you times and divide with negative number, the symbol must change. So this is n greater than Lg 1/3 divide Lg 7/8. Now, if you're unsure about this, it's okay. You can just type in a calculator log 7/8, and you may want to write this down, negative 0.05799 with the n, and let's take log 1/3. You should get negative 0.4771. Now you notice that there's a negative here, so when you divide, the sign has to change. So your n is now greater than 8.227. So the number of years should be what? Oh, not 8. It should be 9. More than 8.227. Answer n is 9. All right. Yeah, I will say this is also all right, not that challenging. Yeah, the next one, number 8, yes, will be a bit more challenging. Yeah, you're supposed to express log base 9 x cubed y in terms of s, n, or t. Now notice you are given base x here, whereas this is base root y. Now you can choose to change this to logarithm to base 9 and substitute. You can do that, or you can just change from here. Now perhaps in this case I'll just change from here. Now before you change the base, because you can see they are together, x squared, x cubed y, they're together, maybe it's best we break it up first. Log base 9 x power 3, you plus with log base 9 y, bring the power 3 down, log base 9x plus log base 9y. So that is the first step. We break it up, bring the power down, then you decide. Okay, you can see this is base x over here. So we need to change the base to base x. Okay, remember the formula for changing base like this. Log AB, when you change the base, you can change to any base you like. So let me say C and C. The original number B we write on top, the original base A we write below. So here my original number is x, my original base is 9, so we write in this form. For the second one, I would have to choose base root y. As you can see, this is root y. Okay, so this is also root y. Okay, so keep the y on top, keep the 9 below. So from here, we know log x has a value of 1, so this is 3. Log base x 9, before you substitute, we know 9 is 3 to the power of 2. Yeah, so I bring it in front. Whereas root y, right, in case you're not sure about this now, we know if you take square root y, you square it, you will get y here. Okay, and the one below is actually the value of t. We know it's t, but I'm just going to take one more step and write like this. So this now 3 over 2 log root x base x3 is now s. Now when you take log root y squared, this is just 2, right? Isn't it? If you don't believe me, you'll write one more step. You can write 2 log root y, which is just 2. So this is 2, and the one below here is t, right? So you get 3 over 2s plus 2 over t, right? So answer given is this. Now if you want to combine it and write 3t plus 4s over 2st, you can do that. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? Okay, let's look at number 9. 2 experiments were carried out to find out the relationship between two variables x and y. Both experiments shows that the relationship between x and y is in accordance to this. Okay, the first formula is 9 power x equals 27 power y. So this is an initial equation that we can group everything together to the same base. Like for example, 9 we can change to 3 power 2, 27 we can change to 3 power 3, and when you put together is 1 plus 2x here. When it times the number we plus the power, 3 power 3y. So we compare the power. 1 plus 2x is now 3y. Now I'm not sure what to do with this, so I'm just going to leave this out and call this equation 1. Yeah, and let's move on to the second one. Log base 2y is now 2 plus log base 2x minus 2. Okay, now this 2 here doesn't have any log, so we can put log 2 because log 2 is actually 1. So when you bring this up, is 2 power 2. 2 power 2 is going to give us 4. This is log 2x minus 2. When you combine them, this is log 2, 4 of x minus 2. So your log base 2y is now this. We can write y as 4x minus 8. Now immediately I just times inside. When you have a same logarithm, we can compare the number. Likewise, if you have the same base for the index, we can compare the number. So now we have two pairs of linear equation. We just sub equation 2 inside equation 1, solve them simultaneously. 1 plus 2x is now 3 of 4x minus 8. So when you expand, this is 24. Bring the 24 over, you get 25, right? 24 plus 1 is 25. 12 minus 2 is 10x. 25 divided by 10 is 5 over 2. Alright, now with that we can sub inside equation number 2. My y is 4 times 5 over 2 minus 8. So 10 minus 8 is just 2. Okay. Alright, last question, number 10. So in question 10, the price of a car drop can be determined by this equation. The equation is x log with the bracket 1 minus 2y equals log base 10 b minus log base 10 q. So here it is here, the car with the y years of usage has a price of q, will drop to price of b used for x. Remember, x and y is a year of usage, p and q is the price. So first of all, the car is bought at 100,000. That means 100,000 is a price. All right. So originally q is 100,000. Okay. It has 20 years of usage. That means your y, the corresponding value of your y here, when q is 100,000, your y is 20 years. Okay, so if the price of the car dropped to 100,000, that means your p is now 10,000, not 100,000, 10,000. I want to find the year of usage of the car. So meaning you've been using the car for, okay, maybe I can just draw a simple illustration. We know that the more you use the car, the longer the car is, the older the car is, the lesser the value. So for example, so initially you already used the car for 20 years and the price of the car is 100,000, right? Now you're going to use for another X years. All right, I wonder how much is the price like. The price is 10,000. So when the price dropped to 10,000, so how many years is the usage? So you're finding X. So let's start by substituting. Okay, I know I'm finding X. My Y is now 20, so 2 over 20, and my P is now 10,000. My Q is 100,000. So now 1 minus 2 over 10, that means 1 minus 1 over 10. This is going to give us 0.9. So the next one, if you can see, a log 10, 10,000. 10,000 is actually 10 power 5. Okay, I'm going to do a bit slower. I'm going to write 10 power 5 here. This is going to be 10 power 6 here. So it's basically 5 minus 6, right? Log 10, 10 power 5 is just 5. Log 10, 10 power 6 is just 6, right? So 5 minus 6 is just -1. So x log 10, 0.9 is -1. Use your calculator. -1 divided by log 10, 0.9. You get 21.85 years. Okay, actually x is this. I shouldn't write x. Yeah, this is your y. That means you use for another 21 years, the price will drop further to 10,000. Okay, so that's all for this discussion. But before we go, just so you know, we have a collection of notes and tutorial, e-courses, topical practice, a past year question, drill practice, and so on. Some of these comes with video tutorials, some are books with complete solution for your reference. Okay, so if you're interested to get all this material, you can contact us through WhatsApp, call us, or visit our website to find out more information. In fact, we just recently released this book, Additional Mathematics Drill Practice from 4 book. It is basically question example with question and increased level of difficulty, right? So step by step, and every chapter has 20 to even 40 plus question, right, to help students to master this subject, right? And this book comes with a solution book, yeah, and the solution book something like this. This is just an extract. The total number of pages for the book is 350 over pages, and the solution book is about 150 pages, right? So you can actually order this book from Shopee. Our Shopee account will be Pusat Tuition Teliti. Just stay in touch with us if you want to, yeah, to find out more information. Yeah, we can deliver and we can order and deliver it to your doorstep. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you learned something or learned a lot from my explanation here. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.